Well, my wife Denise and I bought this house in Walkerville in 1994. So that means we've been here for 27 years. And Walkerville was very much an old English enclave, historically. And I'm not taking any great offense about that. That's just the way history was, the way it would develop. It was its own village. So a lot of that character of that history, of the English tradition, of the Walkerville family, the Walker family, I should say, and people who grew up, in this area, was maintained. You could see that in the street names and so on. As far as that goes, it had its own, village. It's interesting to think about the things that are intangible insofar as how it affected life in Walkerville and even in the rest of Windsor. With a name like Rostovec, like mine, prior to 1956 or 57, I couldn't live here because there were lots of limitations on the movement of people of European extraction, race, people who were black, who were Jewish, for example. They were limited in what neighborhoods they could live in. But these limitations, these restrictions, they're called restrictive covenants and deeds. They were removed by law sometime in the late 50s. You're asking about material memories with respect to Walkerville that have a meaning for me. I can tell you the post office building, it has walls that are as thick as Fort Knox. I mean, that was built at a time when buildings were built to last, seemingly forever. And the foundation is very strong. So it had an historic purpose, but repurposed as an office building. It had, a certain value, intrinsic value, because of the history and the fact that it was such an elegant building. So we thought, what better place than a community like Walkerville can you see local history at work? We've kept and renovated the old and look forward to several decades in the future where this story can be, a continuum. The story can be continued to be told over and over and over again with a heartfelt embrace, for things in the past. Now, some things in the past were kind of, ugly in terms of, the way we dealt, with people and the lack of diversity and things like that. But in this day and age, and inclusivity being a very important part of the things that we do, does not, in any way denigrate from the history that we have. We just embrace it and say, let's make things better, but make it such that we can truly enjoy all of these amenities and build on this community. So I think it's a great balancing act, and there's so many great stories here, and there's so many great historians have told wonderful stories about the significance of Walkerville. You walk along Monmouth Avenue and you look at the row housing there and think that this was built by an entrepreneur who said, I'm going to create housing for my workers so they have a comfortable place to live, close to work, and they can be part of a great community. No different than Henry Ford building the Model T and making it affordable so his own workers, can buy a car and have a car. But the one thing that keeps drawing my attention to the beauty of this area is Williston Manor. I can just stand and breathe and I look at the manor and look at it at different times of the year when it's well treed in, with the leaves, when the leaves are changing color, when the trees are bare and you can see more of the manor, and the sun hitting it a certain way in the evening. It's special. It makes me happy. You feel like you're in a real neighborhood. Okay, it's not just residential living for the sake of living. It's living with a purpose of embracing life.